Most business owners think they are building a company. What they are actually building is a chain of humans passing information back and forth all day. So the next decision can happen. Every rep logging calls manually, every manager chasing status updates, every owner approving something a system could have handled in 3 seconds. That is not a business, that is a relay race. And your people are the legs. There is a completely different way to run your operation, and almost nobody at your revenue level is using it yet. I'm going to show you exactly how to build it today. Here is what caught my attention recently, and honestly, it should catch yours too. In the last 8 weeks, Y Combinator published a talk to their founders called How to Build a Self-Improving Company with AI. Around the same time, Jack Dorsey co-authored an essay with Sequoia Capital called From Hierarchy to Intelligence, and the CEO of Box released a full white paper on becoming an AI-first company. Now think about that for a second. Y Combinator, Sequoia, the founder of Twitter and Blog, these are not the bloggers. These are the people who decides which companies get funded, which ideas get backed, and where hundreds of billions of dollars move next. They are all saying the same thing at the same time. So the question isn't whether this shift is happening. The question is whether your business is going to be on the right side of it when it does. So if you are new here, my name is Avas. I'm founder and CEO of Readiness AI, where we build AI automation systems for small and mid-sized businesses. Before this, I worked with Chat Walrus, a company that has trained the teams at brands like Bombas, Coach, Fabletics, and Warby Parker, and over 100 others, on how to effectively utilize AI in their day-to-day operation. I have also worked directly with Y Combinator-backed companies, so I know the best funded and fastest moving teams think about AI implementation. Here is what we are covering today. First, I will show you why the traditional business structure is becoming a liability and what the new model actually looks like. Then I'm going to give you a 5-part framework called a closed loop, the exact building block of every AI first business. After that, I will walk you through one full example step by step. Then we will apply the same pattern across a few industries so you can see your own business in it. And finally, I will show you a real system I'm running for a client right now with the actual stack and what it costs per month. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to build first. Let's go. Quick thing before we get into it, I put together a free AI automation readiness scorecard that tells you exactly where your business sits right now and where to start. Link is in the description. Grab it after this video. So here is the whole thesis in one sentence. Your business shouldn't be a pyramid with decisions flowing through people. It should be a brain where data flows in and AI executes the work. Everything else in this video is just how to build it. The building block is called a closed loop. It is a self-running process inside your business. 5 parts. Understand all 5 and you can build them anywhere in your operation. The first part is the trigger. Something happens in your business. A customer fills out a form, a sales call ends, or an invoice lands in your inbox. A renewal is 30 days out. That signal is what wakes the loop up. Nothing moves until the trigger fires. The second part is the rules. You define once what the AI is allowed to do, what it must flag for you, and what it must log. Think of it like the instructions you would write for a senior operator on their very first day, except you write them once and AI never forgets them. It never has a bad day, it never skips a step because it was busy with something else. The third part is the tools. These are the systems the AI is allowed to touch on your behalf. Your CRM, your email, your calendar, your accounting software, whatever already runs your business today. AI doesn't replace your existing stack, it operates through it. And that distinction matters a lot. The fourth part is the safety check. Before any action leaves the loop, the system checks its own work. Is the tone right? Is the timing right? Is it about to do something I have not authorized? If anything fails, that check The action stop and the loop flags you instead of processing. That is your guardrail. That is what keeps you in control without you having to be in the room every time. And the fifth part is basically the learning. This is where it gets really interesting. The system watches what worked and what didn't, which message got a reply, which follow up converted the deal, which actions needed a human, and it gets sharper over time without you touching anything. And that is the difference between a basic automation and a real closed loop. An automation does the same thing forever, a loop improves, so that is it. Trigger, rules, tools, safety check, learning. Build one of these and you understand the shape. Build 10 of them and your business stops running on people and starts running on intelligence. Let me walk you through a real example so this clicks properly. The one I build most often for clients right now is the sales call follow-up loop. Here is what happens at most businesses today. Your rep takes a call, the call ends. They are supposed to log the outcome in the CRM, draft a follow-up email with next steps, schedule the next touch point, and update the deal stage in the pipeline. In reality, your best rep is doing admin instead of selling. The CRM is always 2 days behind. Follow ups go out when someone remembers to send them, and you are paying a skilled salesperson to be a data entry clerk for a chunk of their day. Now, here is what the closed loop version looks like. The moment your call recorder marks that call as finished, the loop wakes up. That is the trigger. The rules are straightforward. For deals under a certain size, the AI drafts and sends the follow-up email on its own. For anything above that size, it drafts the email and holds it until the rep approves before sending. The CRM gets updated automatically. The next touch point gets scheduled without anything touching a calendar. The only systems involved are your call recorder, your CRM, your email, and your calendar. 4 tools, that is the entire footprint. Before any email goes out, the system runs a quick check on itself. It checks the tone, checks the deal stage, and makes sure the email doesn't contain any commitment the rep didn't actually make on that call. Anything feels off, the email doesn't send, and the rep gets a notification instead. And then every week, the system is quietly tracking what is working, which follow-up wording is getting more replies, which next step framing is converting more pipeline, which deal sizes need a human in the loop, and which can run on autopilot completely. It gets a little smarter every single week. The old way was to hire 2 more SDRs, build an operations function just to keep the CRM clean and hope things improve. The new way is one loop, around $150 to $200 a month in AI cost, and a pipeline that is always current, always following up, and never calls in sick. Most business owners are 1 or 2 automations away from reclaiming 10 to 15 hours a week. This is one of them. Now, here is the thing. The same pattern runs across almost every type of business. Let me show you a few so you can see your own operation in this. If you run a home service company, the loop runs on job completion. The moment a job closes, the system sends a review request over WhatsApp, logs a job outcome in the CRM, and schedules a rebooking offer 3 weeks out. The owner never touches it. Repeat revenue goes up because the follow-up never sleeps between the jobs. If you run an insurance brokerage, the loop runs on renewals instead of your agent tracking policy dates in spreadsheet and chasing carriers for quotes. The AI watches the calendar, pulls the comparison codes automatically, drafts the renewal email, and your agent just reviews and hits send. One human touch point, everything before it is handled. And if you run an accounting firm, the loop runs on invoice processing. AI categorizes and matches the high volume routine invoices and flags only the anomalies for your CPA to actually look at. Same headcount, more throughput, lower cost per client. Same 5 parts every single time. Different trigger, different tools, different action. But once you understand the shape of one loop, you start seeing them everywhere in your own business. That is the real shift. Let me show you a real system I built for a client because I don't talk about things I have not actually built. A home services businesses was getting inbound quote requests through their website and losing most of them because follow-up was slow and inconsistent. We built a WhatsApp lead nurture loop using N8N. The moment someone submits a quote request form on their website, the system sends them a WhatsApp message confirming receipt within seconds. Then, over the next 5 days, a message sequence runs automatically, covering social proof, answers to the most common objections, and a direct booking link. Zero humans involved from the moment the form is submitted to the moment the appointment is booked. The guardrail is simple: no prospect ever gets contacted more than once in a 24-hour window. No expectations, and every month we look at which message sequence is producing the highest booking rate and update the templates accordingly. The system literally tells us what is working. Total monthly cost. Since going live, that client went from total monthly cost is few pennies. In platform and AI fees, since going live, that client went from 100 booking to 200 without adding a single high. That is the whole point. Efficiency isn't something you think about when things go wrong. Efficiency is the growth strategy, full stop. Let me leave you with 3 shifts that sum up everything we covered today. Old rule: hire more people to scale. New rule is basically to build more loops to scale. Old rule is your business runs on your head. New rule is your business runs on a system that gets smarter while you sleep. Old rule is AI is a feature you add on top of what you already have. New rule is AI is the operating layer you build underneath everything, and every tool sits on top of it. The businesses that survive the next 5 years will not have the biggest teams. They will have the smartest systems, and that gap is opening right now, not in 5 years, right now. So if you run a business and you are serious about building this properly, this is exactly what we do at Readiness AI. We map your operations, find the automation leverage points, and build a closed loop systems for you, whether that is a voice agent, WhatsApp automation, N8N pipelines, or multi-agent systems. Link to start a conversation is in the description. Finally, if this gave you something useful, hit like and subscribe. New video every week. Practical AI in automation for real business owners, not theory, not hype, actual system. I will see you in the next video.